Your belly fat might already be melting away, and you don't even know it. Most people think belly fat only goes once the scale drops or their jeans feel looser. Wrong. Your body actually gives off hidden signals when it's finally burning belly fat, and if you miss them, you'll think you're stuck when you're not. Today we'll break down 7 clear signs your belly fat is finally melting, even if it doesn't show in the mirror yet. And stick around, because almost everyone misses sign number 6, and it's the one that proves your belly fat is melting the fastest. Here's a sign almost nobody expects. Your weight goes up while your belly fat goes down. Sounds backwards, right? But early fat burning doesn't always show up on the scale. Why? Because when your body starts tapping fat stores, it also releases water that was locked up with glycogen. And guess what? It's just water weight playing tricks, hiding the fat loss that's really happening. So your scale may stall or even tick upward for a few days. Meanwhile, your waist is quietly shrinking behind the scenes. If you only chase the number, you'll think fasting isn't working. But if your energy's rising, hunger feels different, or your belly sits tighter, the scale might just be playing mind games. So don't panic if the scale lies at first. If it's bouncing up and down but your body feels different, that's an early green light. Belly fat is starting to melt. The mirror isn't honest either. When belly fat starts burning, it's not just about inches. Your midsection can sit differently, less puffed out, less heavy in the way you stand. Even before the tape measure budges, your belly may stop pushing forward as much. That's not magic, it's pressure. Visceral fat and inflammation push your core outward. As they shrink, your natural posture eases up without you noticing. Clothes might still feel snug, the scale might still stall, but the way your belly hangs or rests can shift quietly. Look at side profile photos and you'll see it first. Your belly sits closer in, less puff, more relaxed stance. It's a subtle clue most people ignore, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. It means your core is finally unloading fat from the inside out. One of the strangest early signs of belly fat melting, you suddenly get energy without eating. It feels backwards, because most of us grew up thinking food gives you energy. But when fasting clicks, your body flips fuel sources. Instead of begging for carbs every few hours, it taps your belly fat. The result? You might notice a random mid-morning energy boost, or you can go longer without coffee before crashing. That's fat powering you, not snacks. Think of it like switching from a leaky gas tank to a giant battery pack. Steadier, longer lasting. So if you're cruising through parts of the day that used to drag you down, don't question it. That's your belly fat running the show, finally in the way it's supposed to. Another hidden clue belly fat is melting, your hunger feels different. At first, fasting hunger is loud, urgent, almost like an alarm. You know, the kind that wakes the whole neighborhood at 3 a.m., but never the guy who said it. But once fat burn is active, that alarm softens. You still get hungry, but it's calmer, less panicked. This isn't willpower, it's hormones. Ghrelin, your hunger hormone, peaks and fades on a rhythm. Once your body trusts it can tap stored fat, those peaks smooth out. The wild part, you might even forget to eat on time because your body isn't yelling anymore. That's fat burn doing its job. So if hunger goes from a screaming alarm to a polite tap on the shoulder, don't ignore it, celebrate it. Your belly fat is finally fueling you instead of holding you hostage. One of the most underrated signs your belly fat is melting, the 3 p.m. crash, disappears. Normally after lunch, blood sugar dips and insulin roller coasters knock you out. That's when you face plant into emails or need that emergency coffee. But once your body starts burning stored fat, those wild swings calm down. Instead of slamming into a wall at 3 p.m., you're coasting steady until dinner. The trick is simple. Belly fat is now the backup fuel tank your body actually uses. So if you suddenly notice afternoons don't knock you out anymore, that's not luck. That's your body proving it switched fuel sources, from sugar crashes to fat burn. Here's one way to test it yourself. Next time it hits mid-afternoon, notice what your brain asks for. If you're reaching for sugar or caffeine, that's the old fuel talking. But if you realize you can power through with steady focus, that's belly fat quietly keeping you afloat thanks to stable blood sugar. Think of it as your body finally firing the backup generator you didn't know you had. Here's the one almost everyone misses, and it's a big deal. Your sleep improves once belly fat starts burning. Most people don't connect sleep to fat loss, but they're glued together. Belly fat thrives when insulin is high, stress is high, and sleep is bad. Start melting that fat, and your sleep gets deeper. Better sleep then doubles down, lowering insulin even more, making belly fat loss faster. It's a feedback loop most people never notice. How do you know it's happening? You fall asleep faster, you'll wake up less, and mornings don't feel like a hangover. That's not coincidence, it's your metabolism repairing while you rest. So if your nights start feeling smoother and mornings less brutal, that's your body saying, belly fat is finally burning on autopilot, even while you sleep. And here's the kicker. Better sleep doesn't just help fat loss, it also repairs your hunger signals. Studies show even one night of poor sleep can spike ghrelin, the same hormone that screams for snacks. Flip that around, and every solid night of sleep makes fasting feel easier the next day. Deeper sleep also boosts growth hormone, which helps preserve muscle while fat melts away. Most people chasing belly fat miss this hidden cycle, but if you catch it, you'll unlock fat loss that compounds night after night. And speaking of hidden cycles, that leads right into the next sign, and it happens in your head. One of the clearest signals your belly fat is melting isn't in your waistline, it's in your head. As your body burns fat, it makes ketones, a cleaner fuel for your brain. The result, brain fog lifts, tasks feel sharper, focus feels easier. You don't just power through the afternoon, you actually feel switched on. It's the opposite of carb crashes, where your brain feels like it's running Windows 95. This is more like flipping to high-speed Wi-Fi. If you've caught yourself suddenly plowing through work, remembering details better, or just feeling less scattered, that's fat loss, feeding your brain. And once you notice the clarity, you'll never mistake it for coincidence again. Want to know if this one's real? Try this. Pay attention to how often you lose your keys, forget what you walked into a room for, or blank on a name. If those slip-ups start fading, that's ketones feeding your brain more consistently. Spotting the signs means your belly fat is finally melting. But here's the catch. If you're still making the most common fasting mistakes, that fat can creep right back. That's what I break down in my video on the #1 fasting mistake almost everyone makes. You can click right here. And if you've been chugging plain water, you need to see this. It could actually be making fasting harder. That's what I reveal in this video. You can click right here. If you found this video helpful, hit like so more people can see it, and subscribe because I've got a lot more coming that will make your fasting journey simpler and smarter.